Let's talk a little bit about floral formulas. So what is a floral formula? Well, it's really quite simple. It's simply an equation or a shorthand description of a floral structure. And what does a floral formula look like? Well, here's an example right here. And right now it looks just like some kind of crazy code. But by the end of this video, you'll be able to tell me through this code, through this floral formula, exactly how many sepals, petals, stamens, and pistils and carpels that this flower has, exactly which structures are fused, and you could tell me also about the ovary placement, whether it is superior or inferior. So in the floral formula, we start with the outermost whorl and work our way to the innermost whorl as we go from left to right in reading the formula. So the K denotes the calyx, which is of course composed of sepals. The C denotes the corolla, which is composed of petals. The A denotes the andrecium, which is of course the stamens. And G denotes the gynecium. That, of course, is your pistils and your carpels. So K, C, A, G, that's calyx, corolla, andrecium, gynecium. The next thing you'll probably notice are the numbers that are associated with each. So you'll see that we have a 5 associated with the calyx, a 5 associated with the corolla, as well as the andrecium. And then we have this infinite sign associated with the gynecium. So all these numbers represent is the number of parts to each structure. So here, the calyx is composed of 5 sepals. The corolla is composed of 5 petals. Our andrecium is composed of 5 stamens, and our gynecium has greater than 10 carpels. So there's still some more going on here in this floral formula that we need to describe. So the parentheses that you see in the corolla here, that denotes fusion. So in this above floral formula, this means that a corolla is composed of 5 fused petals. Now, this line that is beneath structures also indicates fusion. So in the floral formula above, we have the calyx, corolla, and andrecium all fused together. Now, this structure is known as a hypanthium when we have fusion of the calyx, corolla, and andrecium. Finally, let's talk about this line under the gynecium. So this line can either be placed above the G or below the G. And depending on the placement, we are clued in to the ovary placement. So when the line is above the G, that means that we have an inferior ovary. If the line is below the G, we then have a superior ovary. So in the floral formula above, we clearly have a gynecium with more than 10 carpels and a superior ovary. One last thing to cover with the gynecium is understanding through the floral formula how many pistils we have and how many carpels we have. Now, if we look at this floral formula, we have, of course, more than 10 carpels, and we can see that they are not fused because they do not have parentheses around them. So here, we must have infinite, which in the botany world, this infinity sign just means greater than 10, infinite carpels that aren't fused, so we must then have this infinite pistils, which in reality just means greater than 10. Let's just quickly go through another example of a random floral formula. So here we have our calyx with 3 fused sepals. We have a corolla with 3 petals, and this Z subscript simply means that the corolla is zygomorphic in terms of symmetry. So 3 distinct petals in this case, and we know it's zygomorphic. Here we have our anthers, and they're composed of more than 10 stamens, and these are all fused. So in fact, when we see this, we know that we have monadelphous stamens. We have more than 10 stamens all fused together. In this case, fused by their filaments, creating a tube around the style. That's the definition of a monadelphous stamen. So monadelphous stamens, that is our androecium condition. And for the gynoecium here, well, we have the line above the G, meaning inferior ovary. We know we have 2 carpels, and the parentheses indicates fusion. Therefore, we have a syncarpous gynoecium. Let me write that, syncarpous, composed of 1 pistil made up of 2 carpels. And of course, like we said earlier, we noticed that we also have the inferior ovary. Boom! There's another quick little floral formula. Let's just look at one last floral formula here. It'll be interesting because it's actually the floral formula for one of the plant families we've gone over so far. So again, let's just start with the calyx. We have this time 4 distinct sepals. They are not fused. For the corolla, we have 4 distinct petals. With the anthers here, the androecium, we have a 4 plus a 2. To that, that clearly is just denoting tetradynamous stamens, right? We have 4 long stamens and 2 short stamens. So, tetradynamous stamens. And of course, with the gynoecium, oops, forgot to put this, we have a superior ovary composed of 2 fused carpels. So we have syncarpous gynoecium, 1 pistil composed of 2 fused carpels, and it is a superior ovary. So, what family does this belong to? We got 4 sepals, 4 petals, tetradynamous stamens with a superior ovary, syncarpous, composed of 2 carpels. Well, this is for the Brassicaceae. Boom. So, that is the Brassicaceae floral formula for you guys.